going to meet Dr. Erin Brown and talk about what you do and why you do it. Hi, Dr. Erin.
Hi.
So, I have a couple questions for you. Be open, honest, just have fun with it. So, what led you to being one of the co founders of Heartstrings Pet Hospice?
Yeah, so I fell in love with this kind of work and with helping families, during a really difficult time in their lives and kind of coaching them through, how to make this end of life decision and coaching them through hospice and then of course afterwards. And so I just felt like with the mission of service in mind, service to the families, and then service also to our vets. We employ. I want to make sure they're cared for. Those two things in mind. It's kind of started Heartstrings. And we really hold true to that, along with our mission of compassion, dignity, and respect. We want to kind of put that to our families that we help, as well as our staff, our doctors, and make sure, that they're cared for just as well as our families are.
I love that. So, that was kind of your inspiration behind starting the whole thing as well. What gap in veterinary care did you see that led you to create Heartstrings?
Well, I definitely felt like we needed more companies, more vets out there doing this kind of work. There's definitely a need,
Mm-hmm.
and families don't necessarily always know that hospice is available or end of life care at home is available. And so, part of this is educating families that this is an option, whether they go with heartstrings or not. But, I think the more people know, the better. So the need for the families was there, and then I also felt like we needed more voices within the veterinary community that were positive and that
Mm-hmm.
were advocating for vets when we sometimes aren't treated the greatest. We sometimes are not treated like doctors, or not sufficiently paid, or sometimes people think that we're just out for money, and we really aren't. We're here because we love what we
Yeah,
do, and we chose this career for that reason. And so I felt like, one, obviously helping families, that's number one, and having the service to the families, but, also kind of contributing to a more positive culture in our industry as well.
I love that. How does Heartstrings reflect your personal values and beliefs about pet care?
Hmm. I think Heartstrings definitely emphasizes, obviously, that end of life period, which is still a time in our pets' lives that we need to kind of take take care of and kind of hold as like an important thing, because you're honoring that human animal bond, that all those years that you spent together, and then now it's like, okay, we're back to almost like puppyhood, where we're having to take care of them a lot more, and so I think it's important on family side to kind of hold that time of their pets' lives dear, and not only caring for them, taking away pain, making sure they're nutritionally balanced, but also, doing some bucket list sort of items, and make sure that we're honoring all those years together and that bond together. And so I think, that's always been really important to me. And I think that as a vet, obviously we do, lots of things, preventative care, surgeries, dentals, all these things that are so important. And I think sometimes that the end of life is forgotten, or it's just kind of brushed off. And so I've always felt like it was kind of a big job, a big part of being a vet. We still have to take care of them at end of life, and so highlighting that, as a career choice and a business, I think is really important. It's definitely um, uh, needed for our families.
I feel like no matter whether it's a pet or a human being, it's talking about end of life care is something people are afraid of, and it's one of those hush hush topics. And I think if we got more comfortable talking about it, it would be easier for people to plan properly, and you would
Right.
know certain wishes, and there would be a bigger education piece there. I mean, I didn't know hospice care even existed for pets.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think what you do is absolutely incredible. I think um, veterinarians are magical humans. Not only are you working with pets, but you have to know every aspect of animals' bodies and how they work. Our human doctors specialize in certain things, but you have to know it all. You have to know every aspect of it from start to finish. And
Mhm.
I don't know. I appreciate what you do. I think you're magical.
Thank you.
What challenges did you face in starting a pet hospice, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I think challenges starting Heartstrings, wasn't too different from kind of starting any business. It's always a lot of hard work, where you're not just doing your job, you're doing lots of jobs. And going from, being an associate to, being, a boss, it's a big leap. And so becoming, more responsible for, other people and their roles, and then kind of creating protocols, creating SOPs, all these kind of background things that people were doing, I wasn't doing, and so now I'm part of that. And while it's definitely a lot of work and a lot of lost sleep, and certainly some tears thrown in there too, it's been a challenge, but like a good challenge, and it's been a really good adventure. And honestly, meeting so many people, not only those that I work with, but the families are wonderful. There's a lot of joy, and then there's a lot of reward that's been happening with Heartstrings and starting this whole adventure.
I love that. What impact do you hope Heartstrings will have on pets, families, and the veterinary community?
I definitely hope that we educate, as many families as we can, just that hospice is an option. I don't think, enough people know about it and explore that as an option. And so I hope that Heartstrings contributes to kind of that spreading of knowledge, so that, we can help pets in their end of days and keep them supported and pain free as possible, to have more of those good days than bad days. And I think that brings some comfort to families as well. And then, definitely in the veterinary community, I want our vets to, learn more too about hospice care. I don't think all vets know about hospice care, or at least all the ins and outs of it. And so, helping other vets kind of learn more about that, as well as contributing to a more positive side of the culture, kind of helping our support our vets.
You're able to advocate for your veterinarians. Like your last job, you couldn't be an
Right.
advocate, and now you get to
Yeah.
advocate for your people and make sure that
Yeah.
your vets are taken care of. You're the co-founder. Like your focus is on taking care of the vet side of things as well as the families. Like the corporations get involved, and it then becomes
Right.
about numbers, and you don't want it to be a numbers thing. You want it to be a comfortable, flexible place for people to be able to work.
Right.
And
Right.
you have been in some situations where it wasn't that, and you want to create this brand that people are excited to go to work and know that they're going to be taken care of and backed by their employer, and you get
Right.
to create this incredible environment.
It's a big part of why we started Heartstrings, why we are bringing on the vets that we're bringing on, is advocating for the vets, and making sure that they all feel appreciated, that they all feel heard, that they all
Mm-hmm.
have a voice, and that we're not just numbers. We're not just treated like a worker bee, that we do have knowledge and experience, and we all need to work together. I mean, why fight each other? Why, you know, argue or try to work against each other? It just doesn't make any sense. I think we all should support each other. And so being able to spread that, kind of feel, I hope that it makes a difference.
It sounds like you're creating a company that's going to have a great work life balance. And
Yeah.
people are going to be able to kind of be their own boss in a sense, but still have people backing them if there's a position or a situation that comes up. There's people there to protect them and
Yeah.
help them through the process. And
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I've definitely taken on the responsibility of like fighting for our vets. Like if they have any issues, I want to be there in their corner. I want to be coaching
Hmm.
for them. I want to be, with, using my voice to kind of speak up for them, to make sure everyone's heard. I'm certainly not afraid to kind of speak my mind and be open and honest. And so I will use that for all of vets as well. I'm happy to do that.
I love that. Thank you, Dr. Erin. You're amazing. I appreciate you coming on and speaking with us today about co founding Heartstrings Pet Hospice. It sounds like you are creating an incredible place to work and a wonderful place that is going to support its doctors.